always that Rama who is second to none, who is away from the world, who does not see differences, who is crystal clear, who does not have diseases, and who stands always as the real form of truth. I pray always that Rama, who is second to none, who is the ship to cross the sea of life, who shines as all types of bodies, who does good and who shows mercy. I pray always that Rama, who is second to none, who is so great that he is fit to be known through great Vedic sayings, and who is Brahman, which is spread everywhere. I pray always that Rama, who is second to none, who grants peace, who gives us pleasure, who destroys the problems of life, who avoids illusion, and who is a resplendent Guru. He who reads or recites this octet on Rama, which is easy to understand, which gives rise to good deeds, which is written by sage Vyasa, would get knowledge, wealth, pleasure, and limitless fame. And once he leaves his body, he would also get salvation. व्यासदेव भगवान की
हरे
जय,
कृष्ण
रामाष्टकम की जय.
की जय. शिला वेद व्यास विरचितम रामाष्टकम की जय हो. Thank you, Mataji. Now I'm doing small song Vrindavana Ramyasthan because today is our favorite Acharya Narottam Das Thakurji's appearance day. Narottam Das Thakur ki jai ho. वृंदावन रम्यस्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहर वृंदावन रम्यस्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहर आवृत्त कालिंदिनी रे राजहंस केली कोरे ताहे शोभे कनक कमला तारमध्ये हेमपीठ अष्टदले वेष्टित अष्टदले प्रधान नायिका तारमध्ये रत्नासने बसियाछे दुई जने श्याम संगे सुंदरी राधिका ओ रूप लावण्य राशि आमिया पोरीचे खासी हास्य परिहास संभाषणे नरोत्तम दास कोय नित्य लीला सुख मोय सदाय स्फुरक मोर माने वृंदावन रम्य स्थान दिव्य चिंतामणि धाम रतन मंदिर मनोहर हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय हो. श्री नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर की जय हो. हरे कृष्णा. Mataji, please read the translation.
Okay, Mataji. Translation. Beautiful Vrindavan is filled with Chintamani gems and many jeweled palaces and temples. Many regal swans play in the waters of the Yamuna, and in those waters a splendid golden lotus flower grows. In the middle of that lotus is a golden place surrounded by 8 petals. On these 8 petals, the 8 principal gopis reside, and in the center, Lord Shyamsundar and beautiful Srimati Radharani sit on a jeweled throne. The great beauty of the divine couple and their charming joking and laughter appears to be constantly showering nectar everywhere. Narottam Das says, I pray that these beautiful blissful, eternal, transcendental pastimes of the divine couple may be always manifest in my heart. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Narottam Das Thakur ki jai ho. Now I'm doing Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, sloka from 11 to 20. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai ho. श्लोका 11 अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागमवस्थिता भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि. All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the ranks of the army. तस्य सजनयन हर्ष कुरुवृत्त पितामह सिंहनादं विनोद्योच्चे शङ्खं दद्मो प्रतापवान्. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grand desire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana's joy. ततः शङ्खाश्च मेयश्च पणवानकगोमुखा सह सेवाभ्यहन्यन्त सशब्द तुमलोऽभवत्. After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. ततः श्रेते हरे युक्ते महति स्यनदने स्थितो माधव पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यो शङ्खो प्रदमुत. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjun stationed on the great chariot drawn by white horse sounded their transcendental conch shells. पाञ्चजन्य ऋषिकेशो देवदत्त धनञ्जय पौण्ड्रं दद्मो महाशङ्खो भीमकर्मा वृकोदरः. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjun blew his the Devadatt, and Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of a Herculean task, blew his terrific conch shells called Poundra. अनंत विजयं राजा कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुल सहदेवश्च सुघोषो मणिपुष्पको काश्यश्च परमेवास शिखण्डी च महारथ दृष्टधूमो विराटश्च सात्यकी स्वापराजितः द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वश पृथ्वीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहु शङ्खा दद्मु पृथक् पृथक्. King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Anant Vijaya, and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sughosh and Mani Pushpaka. The great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter, Sikhandi, Drushtadhum, Virat, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the son of Draupadi, and the others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. सघोषोद्रातराष्ट्राणां हृदयानि वदारयत् नमश्च पृथ्वीं चैव तुमलोभ्यनुनादयम्. Blowing of these different conch shells become uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. अथ व्यवस्थितानन् द्रष्टा रातराष्टां कपिध्वज प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुर्धम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते. At that time, the son of Pandu seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrow. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military army, Arjun then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai ho. Thank you, Prabhuji, for so wonderful seva.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for the nice kirtan and thereafter reciting of the slokas from Bhagavad Gita. Thank you very much. We'll start today's class with the invocation prayers in the beginning. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं त्वजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्य च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्य वैष्णवेभ्य नमो पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जयतां सुरतोपङ्गुर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बुजौ राधामदनमोहन दिव्याद् बृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमः श्रीमद्रत्नाङ्गरसिंहासनस्थितौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलघुविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठालिभिषव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान रासरसारंभी वंशीवटतटस्थित कर्षणवेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर् गोपीनाथ श्रीअस्तुन श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. Now we'll offer our obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the six Goswamis of Vrindavan. नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नमने गौरोति से नमः. O most beneficent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. कृष्ण वर्णम तुषा कृष्णम संगोपांगस्त्रपार्षदम यज्ञ संकीर्तन प्रायेरयजन्ति सुमेधसा. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. नाना शास्त्र विचारण के निपुणौ सद्धर्म संस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मान्य शरण्य करौ राधा कृष्ण पदारविंद भजनान आनंदेन मत्तालिकौ वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizing, studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the divine couple Sri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे. I welcome all the devotees to the today's session. Now we are on Prema Vilasa. Till now, we have seen the birth of Srinivasa Acharya, then how he took initiation from Jannava Mata, and how he moved to Vrindavan and took shelter of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Now today we'll study about Bhugarbha Goswami and Lokanath Goswami. And in the next session, we'll start with Narottam Das Thakur. His advent, his birth, how it was the wish of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for him to come and propagate the names of Krishna throughout the world. And then thereafter, how he meets the other two, that is Srinivasa Acharya and Shyamananda Prabhu there in Vrindavana. And then thereafter we learn how all the three, they were tasked by Jiva Goswami to take the Goswami's literature, Goswami's books written by them to Bengal. All these very, very interesting things we will see. But just a point, we heard the Ramastakam today, and recently the Ram temple at Ayodhya that has been inaugurated. Lord Rama is very much prominent in the hearts of everybody in the whole world nowadays. Here, please remember that there is no difference whatsoever between Lord Rama and Lord Krishna. Though Jiva Goswami has said Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, that is given in the Bhagavad Gita, that does not mean that Lord Rama is different. Lord Rama is inferior like that. That's why we see Srila Prabhupada has established four deities in all the ISKCON temples. What are the four deities? Radha and Krishna in various forms, Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, then Lord Rama, 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 Sitaram and Lakshman. Then fourth one is Krishna Balram. These are the, you'll find in any of these Krishna temples, any three of them you'll find everywhere. So the lesson learned is there is no difference between Lord Rama and Lord Krishna whatsoever. They appeared in different times for different purposes. That was the thing, and they had specific tasks. That's why they behaved also differently. That's why there is a difference we see. But tattvataha, as per tattva, there is just no difference at all. Like we say Lord Balrama and Lord Krishna, what is the difference? So there is just no difference. Only the body color is different. Krishna is black and Balrama is white. That is the fair complexion. So that is the only difference. Otherwise, there is no difference at all. This has to be understood by us. And if we think that all these deities, all these lords, they are different from Lord Krishna, and there is a hierarchy. We should worship only Lord Krishna, and those worshipping the others, they are not at the same level. If we think, then that is an aparadha. That's why we should take it that all are equal and there is no difference. So with this, let us start with this interesting topic of topic today, that is of Bhogar Goswami and Bhogar Goswami and Lokanath Goswami. As you know, they were the two who were sent by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan in the very beginning. The six Goswamis, they went much later. But due to some reason, we do not know much about them. Who were they? Actually, they were also the gopis who had taken part in Krishna's pastimes about 5,000 years back, and how they went there, what they did, this we'll learn today. So in the very beginning in Prema Vilasa, the author is paying his obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu, to all the other devotees like Sri Advaita Prabhu, Jannava Mata, Veerachandra Prabhu, in addition to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he is saying that I am going to narrate the various pastimes here, and please hear them with a lot of attention. As you know, when Lord Krishna he appeared in this material world, he was accompanied by Golok Vrindavana, as confirmed by the Vedic literature. As you know, this we say that Vrindavana has not been created by the Lord Brahma. It has not been created by Krishna either. It has been established by Srimati Radharani. Why? Because when Krishna wanted to come to this material world, he told this thing to Radha, and Radha said that I am not going to go there unless the three are there. Who are the three? Three is one is Vrindavan, one is Govardhan, and the third is the Yamuna river. That's why they came here to this material world, and they have been there since the time immemorial. And that's why we say that they were brought by Srimati Radharani. And regarding Brajamandal, we know the length and breadth of Brajamandal is 84 crores or 168 miles, or roughly 252 kilometers. And here, Lord Krishna and his associates, they resided about 5,000 years back, and Lord Krishna carried out his pastimes, his leelas here. And this same Krishna, later on, he appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 1496 at Navadvipa, that we know. And Krishna's mother, father, servants, friends, gopis, everybody appeared in Navadvipa to assist the Lord in his pastimes. How first Lord Mahavishnu he appeared as Advaita Acharya at Santipur, and as we know, he was the crest jewel of amongst all the devotees of the Supreme Lord, and he was the teacher of all of them. And the Supreme Lord fulfilled his mission with Advaita Prabhu's assistance. Actually, Advaita Prabhu, he prayed to the Lord to appear, and that's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had appeared. And among Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates were 24 very famous sannyasis headed by Madhavendra Puri, and all of them were reservoirs of love of God. And these exalted personalities had been part of Lord Krishna's family in Braja also. And Krishna had four kinds of friends and five kinds of gopis, and all of them appeared in Navadvipa. All the things we know from our previous courses. And we know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in the house of Jagannatha Mishra and Sachi Devi, and they were, he was the second son, the first son was Vishwarupa. And Vishwarupa was very, very attractive and highly learned, and his parents were happy to have such a son. Then Sachi Devi's father lived in the village nearby Belpukriya, and in that same village lived a learned Brahmana, a devotee named Lokanath Pandita. And one of Vishwarupa's classmates, and he was one of Vishwarupa's classmates and friends. And these two boys, that is Lokanatha Pandita and Vishwarupa, Vishwarupa was the son of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. And these two boys, they studied together with great enthusiasm. Now, see some. Let us hear something about Vishwarupa. his parents, they treated him as their life and soul. He was everything in their life. And he attended Advaita Acharya's school, where he learned various scriptures, and very soon he became famous as a scholar. He mastered everything he was taught in no time. And because of his learning, Vishwarupa became detached from family life, and sometime later he left home to go on pilgrimage. And Vishwarupa's parents, they cried profusely when he left for pilgrimage, because they knew he would never return thereafter. And that time, what Vishwarupa had done, he had shaven his head and took sannyasa and dressed in a saffron cloth. He became known as Shankar Narayana Puri. And Lokanatha Pandita later became his disciple. And Lokanatha Pandita lived with Vishwarupa and served him faithfully. But after traveling to holy places for 2 years, Vishwarupa suddenly left this world. Now, please hear something about Nityananda, Prabhu Lord Nityananda. As we know, already learned that there is a village named Ekachakra in Radha Desa, where there was a pious Brahmana. His name was Hadai Pandita, who lived with his wife Padmavati, and Nityananda Prabhu appeared as their son. Indeed, the couple was very, very joyful when Nityananda Prabhu was in his mother's home. And on the 13th day of the waxing moon in the month of Magha, Lord Nityananda appeared, marked with all the auspicious signs in his body, and he was astonishingly attractive. And as a child, he was sometimes silent, sometimes he would laugh ecstatically. And from his birth until he was 14 years of age, Lord Nityananda played constantly with his friends, enacting Lord Krishna's various pastimes. And one day, when he was about 14 years old, a sannyasi came to Adai Pandita's house, that is his father's house, and after being respectfully received and fed, the sannyasi asked for charity. And Adai Pandita, um, to him, he said that I beg for something in charity from you, kindly fulfill my desire. And Hadai Pandita said that I will most certainly do that. Tell me what you want. Please give. Then this sannyasi, he asked to give his son, that is Nityananda Prabhu, in charity to him. He said, I am an old man and he can assist in my pilgrimage. Don't worry for him. I will take care of him. Then Hadai Pandita, he was greatly afflicted by impending separation from Nityananda. Prabhu and Hadai Pandita gave his son to the sannyasi, who immediately departed on his pilgrimage. He made Nityananda Prabhu his disciple, but Lord Nityananda did not accept sannyasa danda. Lord Nityananda traveled with the sannyasi like a wandering mendicant, and he was fully absorbed in the mood of Braja, and was therefore not aware of what was happening elsewhere. And one day, what happens, that sannyasi, whose name was Iswarapuri, he smiled and told Nityananda, my dear son, now that you have traveled to all the holy places, you should do one last thing so that all your endeavors will be successful in future. Now Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, has appeared in Navadvipa, and seek him out. You will feel immense pleasure in his association. This was the first information given to him. Now, please remember that Lord Sankarsana and Lord Balarama are the same person, just as Vishwarupa and Sankar Narayana are one and the same person. And that same Balarama appeared as Nityananda Prabhu, and the son of Sachimata is none other than Nanda's son Krishna. There should be no doubt about this in any devotee's mind. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates were ordered to appear in this world prior to the Lord's advent, and all these associates they appeared in and around Navadvipa. And Sriman Mahaprabhu, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared on an auspicious full moon day in the month of Falguna and enjoyed childhood pastimes right from the birth. And all his devotees who appeared in and around Navadvipa were gradually they came and met the Lord. It is just like the rivers and the streams. They meet a bigger river and they flow to the ocean. Like this, all the other devotees they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they proceeded. They took part in his leela. Now, amongst all the associates, Lokanath Goswami was one of these associates. And there is a province called Jessore. Jessore is in Bangladesh now. That lies on the eastern side of Navadvipa. In that province, there is a village known as Talagadi. And the great Chaitanya Bhakta Lokanath Goswami, he appeared there. Lokanath Goswami's father was Padmanabha Chakravarti and his mother's name was Sita. Now, Padmanabha Chakravarti and Sita, they were both pious, they were learned, and they properly educated their son. And in time, the boy became a scholar. And no one was more learned than Lokanath in that province or decorated with all his good qualities. And although his parents were proud of him, they doubted that he would remain at home and imagined that he would take sannyasa. He would not remain at home and he would leave the house and become a sannyasi. Consequently, they prayed for his well being constantly to the Supreme Lord, even though they were worried that he would renounce his family life and leave them. Now, when Lokanatha he realized that his parents were thinking of finding him a girl, that is, wife for him, and to get him married, he began to plan how to leave his home. Then the symptoms of his renunciation increased as he began to meditate constantly on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. And finally, Lokanatha Goswami he resolved to leave his home to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. And one day in the dead of night in Kartika, Lokanatha Goswami, he left his home. He walked 16 miles without rest and reached Navadvipa the next morning. And when his parents they woke up and found that he is not there, they cried pathetically. And upon his arrival at Navadvipa, Lokanatha did not know where to go. So he walked around the streets and asked people for the whereabouts of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house. And all the while he meditated on what he should say to introduce himself to the Lord and praying for the Lord's mercy. And when he finally arrived at the Lord's house, he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting around, sitting surrounded by his devotees, and the devotees were headed by Gadadhar Pandita and Murari Gupta. And Lokanath was astonished to see the Lord's form, his beautiful, most beautiful form. And he immediately offered heartfelt obeisances to the Lord, and he began to cry ecstatically. And regaining his composure, Lokanatha Goswami he folded his both hands and simply stood there, not knowing what to say. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he mercifully embraced Lokanatha and he said, "O Lokanatha, you had forgotten me. How could you stay away from me for so long?" While saying these words, Lord Gauranga also began to cry thanking Providence for allowing him to meet Lokanatha. And Lokanatha, he caught hold of Lord's lotus feet while shedding tears of ecstatic love. And the Lord then made Lokanatha Goswami sit by his side while he gazed at him. Then Lokanatha offered his obeisances to Gadadhar Pandita, who returned the respect, and both of them embraced in affection. Lokanatha and Gadadhar Pandita told they told one another, today my eyes have become totally successful because I am able to see such a jewel-like personality. And then they spent time happily discussing Krishna Gatha, and they were absorbed in transcendental ecstasy and floated in an ocean of love for God. And next, Lokanath met Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, and some of the Lord's other associates. In this way, he spent 5 days in Navadvipa in the Lord's association, and he relished Krishna Katha and chanted the Lord's holy name 24 hours in a day. Then what happened one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he asked Lokanatha, how were you able to leave home and come here? In reply, Lokanatha narrated the entire incident of his leaving home, and while doing so, informed the Lord that his lotus feet were his only treasure and that everything else was insignificant. Then one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he called Lokanatha to a solitary place and said that I have many confidential things to disclose, but I do not know to whom I should speak. I have come to this world with a specific mission, and all of you have appeared to assist me in my task. But somehow or the other, my mission is not being fulfilled, and I am pained at heart. I want to disclose my mind to Nityananda and Advaita so that I can solicit their opinions on this matter. I appeared in Bengal after having assumed the mood of Srimati Radharani, but I have been unable to relish the ecstatic emotions for which I have made my appearance here in this world. And for my pleasure, Sri Radha left her family members, social standing, and opulence, and completely surrendering herself to me. She glorified my transcendental beauty and qualities day and night. She became so afflicted by separation from me that she did not even bother to dress properly. She behaved just like a mad woman. Her body became as soft as a lotus petal and as thin as a strand of thread. She repeatedly condemned the Creator for not awarding her millions of eyes to see me. She never looked at the face of any other man, but longed always for my intimate association in the groves along the banks of Yamuna River in Vrindavan. Although I tried to deceive her in various ways, as soon as Sri Radha saw me, she forgot everything and became jubilant. And she considered a moment separation from me no longer as 100 yugas. And such was the degree of her love. And her love is so deep that not even the Vedas can describe her exalted position. Sri Radhika is the queen of Vrindavan, and she is very, very dear to me, and she is my life and soul, and I am hers. I reside in Vrindavan only for her pleasure, and I think always of her pastimes. The gopis headed by Radhika are overwhelmed by transcendental mellows not experienced even by my friends, servants, and parents. O Lokanatha, I am telling you the truth when I say that I am eternally indebted to Srimati Radharani. Apart from this, there is one more consideration I want to tell you. Previously, a Brahmana came and blasphemed me in various ways. Now, please hear this story. This is also given in Chaitanya Charitamrita and in Chaitanya Bhagavata Madhya Khanda, chapter 26. This is also given. This you would have known, but it is given in a little greater detail. Now he is telling about this Brahmana, that is the story, actual story, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he took his sannyasa. He said that this Brahmana had previously committed an offense against me, and that is why he was destined to act like that. He did not accept Lord Krishna as the spiritual master of the entire world, but instead he wandered about acting proud, and he rejected Lord's lotus feet and instead took the shelter of demigods. He could not understand that not only he but all the Brahmanas had emanated from Krishna's lotus mouth. During the day he worshipped his Lord, and at night he drank wine. He advertised himself as most powerful and denied Vyasadeva's conclusions given in the Shastras. Rather than worshipping Krishna, this Brahmana worshipped his own maidservant. And this kind of practice leads many people to Yamaraja's abode. And because of these offenses, he soon fell down from his Brahminical position. Actually, he became so degraded that he was less than a Sudra. And for these reasons, I have decided to accept sannyasa on the third day of the waxing moon in the month of Posa. Generally, members of all the varnas, including the Brahmanas, accept sannyasa, accept a sannyasi as a spiritual master. For this reason, I'll certainly leave home and wander throughout the entire country. But this incident with the Brahmana is my external reason. Now, the deeper reason is that I want to release Sri Radhika's moods and sentiments. My body is bluish, so Sri Radhika finds pleasure in dressing in blue clothing. And when she feels intense separation from me, she dresses herself in saffron. And she always considers herself as maidservant of mine. And all the gopis headed by Sri Radhika are overwhelmed with separation from me and I from Sri Radhika. And therefore, I assumed her mood and complexion when I appeared in this world. Now I wish to wear saffron and constantly sing the transcendental glories of the Supreme Lord. I'll not be able to reach the end of those glories even if I sing them for hundreds of lifetimes. He is telling all these things to Lokanath Goswami. And he said, "O Lokanatha, I am fully indebted to Srimati Radhika's divine qualities. I will inundate the entire universe, entire world with a flood of her glories, and only then will I attain ecstatic love for her. That is why I will cry in ecstatic love and dance in Sankirtana." After saying this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he began to cry while chanting Radha and Vrindavana. And Lokanatha embraced the Lord and tried to console him, but the Lord continued to shiver due to his ecstatic love for Sri Radha. Then the Lord said, "O Lokanatha, leave for Vrindavana early tomorrow morning. You, Rupa Goswami, Rupa, Sanatana, Gopala Bhatta, Raghunatha Bhatta, Raghunath Dasa, they should write books glorifying Krishna's pastimes because I have empowered him. Rupa Goswami will especially be able to compile many wonderful books." And he said that although you know well the scriptural injunctions, I will impart something confidential to you. In the scriptures, it is stated that Krishna has three features in which he exhibits himself as perfect, more perfect, and most perfect. Although Krishna is one, he manifests different characteristics in his various features. Lord Krishna exhibits two types of conjugal pastimes, Swakya and Parakya. The queens of Dwaraka worship Krishna in Swakya Rasa, whereas the gopis of Vrindavan, they worship Krishna in Parakya Rasa. And amongst all the Krishna's worshippers, the Braja gopis are the topmost. And these gopis, they observe a strict vow of and they worship goddess Katyayani in order to obtain Krishna as their husband. The gopis are divided into two groups. Sri Radha is the leader of one group and Chandravali is the leader of the other. These two group leaders are completely opposite in their natures and characteristics. The gopis headed by Radha or Bhama or left-wing gopis and are by nature very, very arrogant. And the gopis headed by Chandravali or Dakshina or right-wing gopis and by nature they are submissive. And at this point in his disclosure, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was overwhelmed by ecstatic love. Even though Lokanatha had been the Lord's companion in his previous incarnation, by Yogamaya's arrangement, he had forgotten his previous relationships. But after hearing the Lord's words and by the Lord's mercy, Lokanatha began to remember everything what had happened in the past. And this proves that one who is favored by the Lord can realize his eternal constitutional position. The Lord is naturally merciful toward his eternal associates. Then, after hearing all this, the Lokanath Goswami, he said that I have got a doubt, so I request you to kindly remove it. He said Sri Vyasadeva compiled many scriptures in which he extensively described the proper methods of worshipping Sri Krishna, and I wish to know whether or not you approve of these methods. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after hearing this, he replied that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is one without a second. He manifests himself in various expansions, planary portions, and portions of his planary portions. Although Sri Vyasadeva elaborately described the worship of the Supreme Lord's expansion and incarnations, he did not describe in detail the worship of the Supreme Lord in the mood of Braja. Now, the Braja Bhaktas worship Krishna in Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya Ratis. You will find no awe and reverence in these four rasas. Only the most exalted devotees, they are selected to imbibe the Madhurya Rasa. And it is impossible for any ordinary devotee to understand the exalted position of Madhurya Rasa. Even the devotees who worship Krishna in the other three rasas, they cannot enter into Madhurya Rasa pastimes. In Madhurya Rasa, the supreme hero Krishna enjoys transcendental pastimes with his supreme heroine Sri Radha, and only the servants and maidservants of Sri Radha can understand the intricacies of Madhurya Rasa. Others can never comprehend it even. Ordinary people cannot understand the Parakya Rasa because it is so confidential. Sri Vyasadeva mostly described the influence and opulence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his writings and did not say much about worshipping the Supreme Lord in the mood of the Brajavasis. Srila Vyasadeva primarily described devotional service mixed with knowledge, hoping to gradually bring people closer to Krishna. And under my guidance, Rupa Goswami will describe the pure devotional service executed by the Brajavasis. Now, when the devotees they enthusiastically render devotional service according to Rupa Goswami's instructions, they will certainly attain love of Godhead. And simply by associating with sadhus or by following their instructions, one is sure to attain perfection. What will distinguish Rupa Goswami's writings is that he will substantiate his conclusions by citing various examples from Krishna's pastimes as he had seen them through his own realization. The method of presentation will enable the followers, his followers, to strengthen their conviction. And Rupa Goswami is presently working for the King of Bengal, but I'll soon send him to Vrindavan so that all of you can release Sri Sri Radha Krishna's pastimes in one another's association. Sri Rupa Goswami will reveal to you how to worship Lord Krishna in the mood of Brajavasis, a process by which one can easily attain the lotus feet of the son of Nanda Maharaj. I will also prescribe duties for all the classes of men. By executing these prescribed duties, one can attain the goal of life. So with this, let us have a 5 minutes break and we'll commence after 5 minutes from where we left leave now. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhu, can I ask you a question?
Yes, yes, yes.
Uh, you said there was one classmate of Shankararanya, that is Vishwarup. His name was Lokanath. Is the same Lokanath Goswami?
No, 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 they are different.
That is.
Yes, yes, I also had the doubt when I first read, then I reread the whole thing and I came to the conclusion they are different.
And then how did Lokanath Goswami was living so far away in Jasur? How did he know about Lord Chaitanya? Nothing is mentioned like that.
You see, as we go further, we'll know he is a permanent associate of the Supreme Lord for many lifetimes. So that's why the mercy of the Lord is there, and at the appropriate time they know about him and come to him. Like you saw Nityananda Prabhu, though he is none different of from Krishna, but when he was in Vrindavan only, that time he came to know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that's why he came from there to Navadvipa, and there he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How he met and all that, that is given very nicely in the Chaitanya
Yes,
Charitamrita.
yes.
So that these things they happen
So there
in
is
a
no
very particular
there
way.
is no meeting. There is no meeting between them or no such like because before he came to Navadvip, before Lokanath Goswami came to Navadvip, there was no meeting of him and the Lord Chaitanya. So they didn't know each other at all, right?
Nee, this meeting, what I described, that happened in Navadvipa.
After before that, there was no such meeting or
Yes, yes, yes. Then he would tell him to go to Vrindavana. Then he will go to Vrindavana and he will give him the task what to do in Vrindavana. That will
yeah.
come later.
So I was like you said, like Lord Nityananda knew Lord Chaitanya was in Navadvip. Like that, Lokanath Goswami also came to know. Is it like
Yes,
that?
yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Sharad Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. So Mataji is doing okay now?
Yes, yes, yes.
And I'm just thinking, it's not the right forum. So where are you staying in Bangalore? Because that's not your place, right?
Yeah. I'm staying with my daughter.
Okay, so then you have place there. Okay, I understand that. Yeah, otherwise it's difficult, Prabhuji, for a couple of months, right? You are already there for quite
Yes,
some time.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
She worked there in somewhere IT?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I used to visit. I used to work. I worked for Accenture in IT for many years, and I used to
Okay,
visit every year. I used to manage project and used to visit there in Bangalore. So spend
okay.
some 1 week 1 week in Bangalore, 1 week in Pune, and I used to come back. It's a really nice place. It's nice.
Yes, yes, yes. Weather-wise, it is far better.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
What I was talking, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling that Rupa Goswami in Vrindavana, he will be describing the mood of the how to worship the Supreme Lord Radha and Krishna in the mood of the Brajavasis, and he will also prescribe duties for all classes of people. And if somebody executes all these duties, one can attain the goal of life. Then he tells him a very interesting thing. He says, many worship, many of the devotees, they worship Lord Krishna lifetime after lifetime. But rarely one has attained the shelter of Sri Radha and Krishna's lotus feet. And when Rupa Goswami's books are compiled and presented to human society, my desire will be fulfilled. I want only that all the people of this world become intoxicated with the love for Godhead, love for Krishna. And now, therefore, please remember that all the books written by the Goswamis, they are so important because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had trained them to what to write in those books, and he helped them. That's why all these books have come up. And he also tells Lokanatha that I'll pray to Sri Radha for your welfare. And I wish to visit all these places where Krishna, the beloved love of Radha, performed his pastimes in the company of his dearmost gopis in Vrindavan. And to fulfill this desire, I need to assume the form of a poor sannyasi. And by doing so, I'll be able to personally release the sentiments of the residents of Brajavasis, and I'll be able to help others to release them. I'll distribute this supreme love for God to everyone in this world. This is the reason he is specifying to Loknath Goswami. And he says that may your worshipable deity cast her merciful glance upon me, and he should go to Vrindavan, execute devotional service to Sri Radha and Krishna in a happy mood. And you should always be content and always keep me informed about the developments there. I'll also keep you informed about my well-being here. And he says that Vrindavan belongs to you. Therefore, go there, live there. If I am fortunate, I'll soon come to see you. As we know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there after some time. Then, after saying all these things, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became totally silent. And after a while, he said that only one who transcends the ritualistic following of scriptural rules and regulations is actually able to understand the Brajavasis' ecstasy, and strict followers of Varnasrama principles cannot possibly take complete shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Indeed, he says, Krishna does not accept such persons as unalloyed devotees. And as a sannyasi with no material possessions, I'll wander from village to village. Although I will mainly reside at Nilachal and sometimes visit Bengal. And he said that, O Lord, whatever you desire will certainly come to pass. The Loknath Goswami, he addressed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that whatever you desire will certainly come to pass. But he asked him a question. He said that I request you to please remove my doubt amongst the followers of Varnasrama Dharma, why some may actually be transcendental to these principles. That is, he's talking about those people who follow the Varnasrama Dharma, Varnasrama principles, and they also worship Krishna with the undeviating attention. Then he is asking what will happen to them. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he replied that Lord Krishna certainly bestows his mercy on a devotee of any varna or asrama who worships him in full surrender in association of Vaishnavas, even if he does not rigidly follow all the scriptural rules and regulations. The Brajavasis do not think Krishna is God, but serve him with love and affection, floating always in transcendental ecstasy. And the Brajavasis left everything for Krishna's pleasure, even the strict following of their Varnasrama duties. It is at the end. But somebody may ask whether we should follow Varnasrama Dharma or not. Now, as you find it is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have to follow the Varnasrama Dharma because we have to go to that level. And at a certain level, one can leave all these Varnasrama Dharma principles or duties or rituals. That is the thing. And he tells that there is something else also that must be considered, and that is one of the symptoms of raga is that a devotee does not consider scriptural injunctions in his eagerness to serve the Lord. Now he is talking about raga bhakti, that is raganuga bhakti. And any fortunate soul situated on such an advanced platform is sure to attain the treasure of love of God. And only those devotees who have completely given up all kinds of fruitive activities and are engaged in the Supreme Lord's worship through attachment, that is raga, will attain Sri Radha Krishna's lotus feet. On the other hand, those who engage their body and mind in activities other than pure devotional service will be unable to attain Braja, and such persons will take lifetimes to attain perfection. That means it is very, very clear. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling Loknath Goswami that Raganuga Bhakti is the only way to attain the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna. And this is what has been described by Rupa Goswami in his books. Then he takes that, he tells him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Loknath Goswami that you have forgotten your real identity. You do not remember who you are, what is your name, or to which group you belong. You are the Sakhi Manjulaliya Braja, and you are a constant companion of Sri Radha, and your service is to decorate her body with various marks and paints, and you should you also decorate her with bangles, and you remain always with Radhika and serve her as a maid servant. You are happy when Radha is happy and distressed when she is distressed, because you are her steadfast maid servant. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spontaneously described all these characteristics of his eternal identity as Manjulali Sakhi. And Loknath Goswami looked at the Lord's face and could not help but cry tears of love. And gradually his memory of his own eternal identity, it appeared in his heart. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he continued that go and remain in Vrindavana. Immerse yourself in the mellows of ecstatic love for Sri Radha and Krishna, and save my life. You will live in different places in Braja, such as Govardhana, Yavat, Barsana, Sanket Kunja, and the other places associated with Krishna's pastimes. I do not doubt that you will feel immense pleasure in Vrindavana. Do not feel separation from me. You should reside where you belong to and meditate on the lotus feet of the divine couple Sri Radha and Krishna. You may also reside in a kunja surrounded by various trees such as tamala, bakula, and banyan trees that are situated on the eastern side of Chiraghata. Is telling him very clearly what to do, how to do, where to go, where to live. And he tells him that under the Kadamba tree, just 1 second. Then he said, under a Kadamba tree there, Krishna enjoyed his Rasalila. Therefore, you go to visit Vamsivata, Didhivana, Dhira Samira. As you know, these places, they are very near, not far from the Krishna Balram temple in Vrindavana. Then he told him, please take bath in Yamuna every day and fill your belly with whatever you receive without begging, and worship Krishna and preach his glories to all the living entities there in Vrindavana. And he told him that you are a perfect devotee and you will have many followers. Soon the devotees such as Rupa Goswami will come and join you in Vrindavana. That means he is going first, accompanied by Bhugarbha Goswami, and the other Goswamis, they would be coming later. This we already know. Then what happened after all this conversation, after giving the instruction, he says that both then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Loknath Goswami, they left to take rest. Remember, all these things, these are happening in Navadvipa. And he said, early in the morning tomorrow, uh, you leave. And the next day, early in the morning, he called Lokanath and said that do not feel unhappy. Go to Vrindavana and attain all perfection. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he embraced Lokanatha Goswami with affection. And Lokanatha also offered his obeisances to the Lord. And then the Lord placed his lotus feet upon his head, and Lokanatha was so absorbed in transcendental ecstasy that he had no awareness of what was taking place. And no one other than the Supreme Lord and his dear servants can understand the confidential meanings of these conversations. Bhugarva Goswami, who was a disciple of Gadadhar Pandita, was standing next to the Lord while all this conversation was taking place between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lokanath Goswami. Then he made an appeal from his side. He said, please give me permission to go to Vrindavan with Lokanatha. I greatly desire to go to Vrindavan. Then the Lord said, you may go if Gadadhar Pandita gives you permission. I have no objection if you and Lokanatha go to Vrindavan and live together. Now, when Bhugarva Goswami approached his spiritual master, that is Gadadhar Pandita, he gave him permission to accompany Lokanatha, and he said that while traveling together, pass your time in discussing Krishna Katha only and nothing else. Then Lokanatha and Bhugarva, they offered their obeisances to the Lord and departed. As the devotees present happily, they chanted Lord Hari's holy name. And as soon as Lokanatha left Vrindavana, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to cry most pathetically, and Gadadhar Pandita, he also shed his tears in separation from his disciple Bhugarva Goswami. And this is a great mystery. The Lord gave Lokanatha Goswami permission to depart, yet cried as if unable to bear his separation. And who can understand all these activities? only the master and his bona fide servant can understand the confidential meanings of such pastimes. And in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enjoyed his pastimes in Navadvipa in the association of devotees like Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu. And Lokanath and Bhogarbha Goswami, they walked along the road to Vrindavan, absorbed in thoughts of Lord Gauranga, and the hair on their bodies they stood on end because of their great ecstasy. And when they discussed Lord Krishna's transcendental qualities and pastimes, their hearts were filled with joy, and sometimes they would roll on the ground to express feelings of utmost humility. And Lokanath and Bhogarbha Goswami, they sang the songs of Lord Gauranga's pastimes, and they also prayed for their beloved Lord's mercy as they walked. And after many days, they arrived at Raja Mahal. And in those days, it was very dangerous to travel beyond Raja Mahal because of the thieves one might meet on the route, and they carefully considered how to proceed. And despite the danger of the thieves and others on the way to Vrindavana, they decided to go to Vrindavana as the Lord had ordered them to go there. And one night, when Lokanath and Bhogarbha Goswami asked the local people to point out the safest path, they were told that they could not go to Vrindavana at this time. Ignoring such warnings, the two Goswamis left the next morning, remembering the Lord and praying for his protection. They took the road to Tajapura, and after some time they arrived at the Purania, and from there they eventually came to Ayodhya, maintaining great faith on the Lord, and they simply waited anxiously for the day when they would reach Vrindavan to see the beautiful groves there. And then from Ayodhya, the two Goswamis, they went to Lucknow, and from there they arrived in Agra, and there they took bath in Yamuna and considered themselves to be most fortunate. And after walking for 2 more days, they reached Gokula and went to see Lord Krishna's birthplace there. And the next morning, while remembering their life and soul Lord Gauranga, the two left Mathura and departed for Vrindavana. Gadadhar Pandita is Lord Gauranga's internal potency, and he is very dear to him. Therefore, we should not doubt anything about his conduct. Bhogar Goswami was previously known as Nandimukhi in Krishna's Vrindavan Leela, Nandimukhi Sakhi. And Lokanath Goswami was previously Manjulali. And Manjulali and Nandimukhi were intimate friends, just as Bhugarbha Goswami and Lokanath Goswami shared an intimate friendship in Gauranga's pastimes. And knowing the eternal identities of these two personalities, the Lord Gauranga had sent them together to Vrindavana, and the Lord reminded his devotees of their eternal identities, causing them to become overwhelmed by love toward him. And as we know, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the spiritual master of the whole world, and he is so compassionate to the living entities that he fulfills everyone's desires, and he is a reservoir of transcendental pleasure. And he is the ultimate goal of all living entities. And he assumed the form of a devotee to inaugurate the Sankirtana movement. Nevertheless, his devotees know him as their supreme worshipable Lord only. And Lord Gauranga's devotees are not ordinary people. They possess all the Lord's transcendental qualities, even as they remain forever subordinate to him. And once these two personalities, Lokanath and Bhugarbha, they arrived at Vrindavan, they wandered about the Dhama like mad men, and sometimes rolling on the ground at a particular place. And after enjoying the beauty of Govardhana Hill, they walked to Radha Kunda, where they saw the Radha Kunda and Shyama Kunda. At that time, they were nothing but more than wheat fields, fields of wheat and barley under cultivation. They began to cry there, and despite this, within their minds, they were still able to recognize these fields as Krishna's pastimes, because as we heard, they were the eternal pastimes. They were there earlier, 5,000 years back, and they remembered everything. And the more they visited Krishna's pastimes in Braja, the more their transcendental ecstasy increased. And one day, while walking to Yabat, where Radha once lived with her husband's parents, as soon as they arrived there, they remembered Radha's pastimes and began to cry in ecstatic love. And actually, Lokanath Goswami recognized Yavat as his home from his previous appearance and became stunned in ecstasy. Lokanath and Bhugarbha Goswami then went to Nandagrama and saw the places where Sri Radha and Krishna used to enjoy their pastimes. And from Nandagrama, they went to Sanket Vana, where they offered repeated obeisances. They were overwhelmed with love of God. And while Lokanath Goswami caught hold of Bhugarava Goswami's hand and said that, please describe the pastimes where they were performed and about those places. But as they discussed the pastimes, they both became so emotional they could not stand still. Finally, they fell to the ground while chanting Sri Radha's name, and they too spent the day at Sanketbana, much to the Brajavasis' pleasure. And recognizing the two Goswamis as perfected devotees, the Brajavasis, they brought them various things to eat. And some days later, Loknath and Bhugarbha, they climbed the hill at Barsana and saw the beautiful places of the Lord Krishna's pastimes in the surrounding area. And another day they visited Kusum Sarovara and took bath there. From Kusum Sarovara they went to Radha Kunda, and then they stayed one night, much to the delight of the residents there. And after a few days, Loknath Goswami and Bhogarav Goswami, they arrived in Vrindavan, went straight to the place on the banks of Yamuna where Lord Krishna had chastised Kali, a serpent. Loknath Goswami then asked, do you remember this place and what happened here? Bhugarbha Goswami, he recounted the pastime which had happened there. And one another day, Loknath Goswami and Bhugarbha Goswami, they visited all the sacred places in Vrindavana, including their Asastali and Vidivana. There they wandered, they cried profusely in separation from Radha and Krishna, and they wandered here and there. They saw Chiraghata, then roamed in the beautiful forest there. They had no permanent residence in Braja, but they spent a day or two under this tree or that tree, and people often saw them lamenting and having heavy sighs, calling out, "Oh Goranga, I may never see your lotus feet again. I am maintaining my life only by the power of your divine instructions, and I am bereft of your association. And this proves how unfortunate I am." And they prayed that when they wondered when will we be able to see Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis, when we meet them, we'll find, we'll consider ourselves to be most fortunate. Then these two exalted devotees spend their days and nights rendering devotional service to the divine couple Radha and Krishna according to their particular moods. And the Brajavasis were glad to see them and served them with love and affection. Then one day the two Goswamis, they overheard from the Brajavasis talking that two brahmacharis they had met on their way to Dhira Samira, and from their appearance they could understand that they were not ordinary human beings. They are so attractive that it seems as if Cupid himself has appeared. They wear Brahmana threads. Perhaps they were demigods or Gandharvas. They greet whoever meets them, and love and with love and respect, and they instruct everyone to worship Lord Krishna. and whosoever witnesses their sadhana is amassed. People have been coming from distant villages simply to offer them gifts, and they were extremely renounced. Uh, and all the Brajavasis seem to treat them as their equals. And we are unable to describe about them. Actually, they were Rupa and Sanatana only. And during the time when Bhugar Goswami and Loknath Goswami had gone there, they were there. And later on, we have and, earlier also we have seen that when Srinivas Acharya he reached, then Sanatan Goswami had already left the material world. So with this, let me end today's session. In the next session, we'll study the most interesting part about um, Narottama Das Thakur's his birth and how he came and all that and his story. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Now the session is open for question and answers.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, so nice. So intimate. Intimate devotees to Lord Chaitanya, both of them, right? And Lord was so open to intimately discuss and tell them what he is, then what he's going to do. So one way he disclosed his identity, right, Prabhuji?
Yes,
To
yes.
he disclosed to them, and as you mentioned that how how what might have gone through them when they visited different places, and relishing that, and the mood of Brajvashi even at that time. How they were, and today also the same mood is there in Braj. It has not changed on that. Prabhuji, it's so nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. I just have one question. You mentioned that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained that deity worship. So, was there any different? Maybe I missed that point. Was there any some change there?
Yeah, what basically he explained that we should come up to the level of Raganuga Bhakti. In Raganuga Bhakti, what happens? We are supposed to follow a Brajavasi, particular Brajavasi in a mood which is suitable to us. Then we'll be able to practice Raganuga Bhakti, and when one progresses in Raganuga Bhakti, he will be able to achieve perfection, not in Varnasrama Dharma. Varnasrama Dharma is the very beginning. This is the stepping stone. And then comes the Raganuga Bhakti. But
Yeah, go ahead.
yes, but knowing the theories only, we should not jump. First, we should perfect ourselves in the Varnasrama Dharma and do all the things as per Shastras, because in Raganuga Bhakti, one need not follow the Shastras. Like if you see the Brajavasis, the Gopis, they never observed any Ekadasi. They never chanted the name of the Lord, like we are chanting with our beads. Like this, there are so many things they did not do because they are not supposed to do that. They are at a much different level. So one should transcend to that level at least in some lifetime. That is what is meant.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you.
Mata.
So wonderful class, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, लोकनाथ स्वामी जी के प्राण धन जो राधा विनोद,
Yes,
तो
yes.
उनके बारे में मैं बोलती हूँ.
Okay, okay.
लोकनाथेर प्राण धन है, लोकनाथेर प्राण धन है, जय राधा राधा विनोद राधा राधा विनोद राधे. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी. और प्रभुजी भूगर्भ गोस्वामी के भी प्राणधन जो है उनका नाम है राधा छैला चिकन चिकना.
Yes, yes, yes,
ऐसा
yes.
मतलब उसका मतलब नहीं समझ में आया था प्रभुजी. छैला चिकन.
Chhela, chicken. Yes, yes, I have
मतलब
heard
वो
that.
बहुत ही जो डैशिंग लगता है, मतलब ऐसा.
Yes, yes, yes. We'll find out. We'll find out. I also straight away do not know. Yes, I have heard that name. Yes,
मतलब छैला मीन्स मतलब प्रभु जी सब जो सबके मन को भा जाए, ऐसा छैला बोलते हैं ना, छैला, छेल
yes,
छबीला,
yes,
लाइक
yes,
दैट ओनली. हाँ हाँ.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, the
ओके
various
प्रभु जी.
okay, the various temples established in Vrindavan, as you know, Radha Madan Mohan by Sanatan Goswami, Radha Govinda ji by Rupa Goswami, Radha Raman by Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Radha Damodar by Jiva Goswami, Radha Shyamasundar by Shyamananda Pandita, Radha Gokulananda by Lokanath Goswami, Radha Gopinath by Madhu Pandita, and Banke Bihari by Swami Haridasa. Any other questions or comments on whatever we have discussed today?
Thank you, Sharad Prabhu. Thank you so much for a wonderful class, Prabhu. So nice of you, Prabhu. So many points you have covered, Prabhu. Thanks for all your service, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji. Very wonderful class. Very nice. Lots of enlightenment to share. We got to know. Thank you very much. Very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. So next weekend.
प्रभु जी.
Yes, yes.
हरे कृष्ण. प्रभु जी एक थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे मुझे कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है. विश्वरूप जो सची माता के बड़े, चैतन्य महाप्रभु के बड़े भाई जो विश्वरूप थे, और नित्यानंद प्रभु जी है, वो दोनों बलराम ही है ना प्रभु जी? मर्ज हो गए थे फिर,
Yes,
ऐसा ही है?
yes, yes, yes.
ओके,
That is correct.
ओके प्रभु जी. थैंक यू.
Thank you. From next week onwards, we'll see the Srimad Bhagavatam in very brief canto wise. That is very, very important to learn because we are also learning about 10th canto. We should know about all the other cantos, what is given in them. It is just an introduction. Therefore, I will request devotees to go through Srimad Bhagavatam in very, very great detail. And then we'll know what is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. And if we don't have any other question or comments, then we can conclude today's class with the Nrsimha prayers, please.
अर्चना माता जी, you want to do? Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhuji, I'm doing.
Yes, okay.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to all devotees. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladaladaine. Praladaladaine. हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः. हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः. शीलटङ्कानखालाये. शीलटङ्कानखालाये. इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा. इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा. यत्तो यत्तो यामि ततो नरसिंहा. यत्तो यत्तो यामि ततो नरसिंहा. बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा. बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा. नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये. तव करकमलवरेणाखा अद्भुत श्रृंगार. दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय हो नरसिंहदेव 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 जय हो नरसिंहदेव जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय हो भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय हो श्री लोकराज स्वामी की जय हो श्री भगवत गोस्वामी की जय हो हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे थैंक यू प्रभु जी फॉर सो वंडरफुल क्लास थैंक यू so much
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the assembled devotees. Thank you very much, Denuvi.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी हरे
Thank you,
कृष्ण जय
Prabhuji.
प्रभुपाद
Hare
की जय
Krishna.
हो हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much.